All right. Hey guys. I have a little video here where I'm going to go through some slides. You guys can feel free to pause at any time if you need to, and take notes. I will be pointing out a few things that you definitely want to take notes on. Again, like we're taking notes in class, you don't have to write everything down, especially you don't need to get it down word for word, but you want to get some of the main concepts. Here's the dealio. I am going to let you guys use these notes on a quiz that's coming up. So, I would recommend, taking notes. Tomorrow, we will also be using the notes that you have taken today to answer a few questions. So, take some time, grab your pencil and paper, and let's go. All right, we are going to be talking about Islam in the Byzantine Empire. So we're going to do a little backstory to kind of hear about the foundation of Islam and then how it impacted, impacted the Byzantine Empire. So, how do I make this? Okay, maybe guys. There we go. All right. So we have a new idea coming in. Let me use my pointer. This is our Arab Peninsula here, okay? And so this is where Islam is being founded. There's a couple cities. There's Mecca right here and Medina. Mecca is where this dude Muhammad is from, and he founds this religion, Islam. And so Islam is gaining strength in this area. Now you can't really see it because it's up here, but here we have Egypt, and then here's Jerusalem, and all up here, this is the Mediterranean Sea. So right up here is the Byzantine Empire, all right up here, and then Islam is coming in and gaining power and strength here. So they're pretty close to each other. So this dude, Muhammad, he traveled around Arabia. This is Arabia. And he found two religions that were interesting to him, Christianity and Judaism. So he thought that these two religions were interesting because they were different than all the other religions that were around him. Most of the religions in this area are polytheistic, multiple gods. But Christianity and Judaism both are monotheistic, and he found that very enticing and interesting. So what happens is when he's 40, he claims that he had a vision or a revelation. And so the story goes is that he took his revelation first to the Jews, and he said, "Hey guys, I have a revelation. This is what I saw," or whatnot. And the Jews said, "That is incorrect. We are not going to follow you." And so then Muhammad went to the Christians and said, "Hey guys, I have a revelation. This is what's up." And the Christians said, "That is not true. We are not going to follow you." And so this made Muhammad maybe a little frustrated, and he founded his own religion, and that's where we get Islam. So all of his visions, revelations, the stuff that he said, everything he said and did, well, not everything he said and did, but all his information is in the Quran. That is the holy book of Islam. So you want to make sure these bolded words, you know that the Quran, holy book of Islam, Islam, religion, founded by Muhammad. Okay? Alright. So, Muhammad does a couple of things. He rebukes Mecca because they were polytheistic and they were following not Islam. Again, guys, if you already have this written down, don't need to worry about writing it down again, but he created Islam. And then he gains a large following and actually has an army. And by 630 AD, he takes control of the city of Mecca and forces people to follow Islam. People who follow Islam are called Muslims. Okay, there are 5 things you're going to want to, well, maybe write these down. The 5 pillars of Islam, at least, you need to note, are basically the 5 things that people need to do in order to be a Muslim. Okay, so he taught that they had to recite that Muhammad was Allah's prophet. Allah is like the Arabic word for God. They believe that people have to pray 5 times a day while facing whatever direction Mecca is. Give to the poor. Fast during the month of Ramadan. It's a whole month of not eating or drinking water. It's pretty intense. And make a pilgrimage or a sacred journey to Mecca, this city. As you can see, Mecca, we've seen it quite a bit. It is a holy, very important city to Islam, or Muslims. Okay. Now, a couple of differences. All right. Well, some similarities. Islam, we've got one God. Christianity, one God. Islam, they believe in Abraham. He's a really important dude. Christianity, Abraham, really important dude. Where we get the difference is in the Old Testament, birthright, or the person who had the right to the inheritance, we see a lot, or we hear a lot about. In the Bible, it states that Isaac is the like Abraham's legitimate son from his wife Sarah, the son who God has all these promises for. In Islam, they believe that Ishmael is his legitimate son. And so that was his other son from the slave woman. So both founding from Abraham, but the Islamic, or the Muslim people, are following basically descendants of Ishmael instead of Isaac. Okay, salvation in Islam comes from basically completing works, so completing the 5 pillars of Islam, and then also mercy from Allah. Salvation in Christianity is a gift based on Jesus, accepting Jesus and his salvation. Islam, Jesus he's in the Quran. He's seen as a very important or revered prophet. Christianity, Jesus is the Son of God. Jesus' death here. In Islam, they actually believe that Jesus did not die, that Allah was too sad seeing him on there, and so he swapped him out for another person. In Christianity, it is believed in that Jesus died and was resurrected, and as we saw, the people who saw him afterwards, so that was pretty cool. And then in Islam, we got the Bible, Islam, they don't follow the Bible. They believe that it is incorrect, but parts of it are okay. As a Christian, we believe that the Bible is the Word of God. So just to give you kind of a little bit of how they compare, because a lot of the stories that you might find in the Bible or the Quran might actually have some of the same characters, but a lot of it has taken what the Bible has said and kind of skewed it or changed it to fit what they wanted to. So what happens is Muhammad's living his life, and he is kind of taking over different areas and spreading Islam. But he dies eventually. It's like a thing. So what happens is one of his followers becomes the next leader. A leader in Islam, make sure you write this down because it's bolded. A leader in Islam is called a caliph. Okay, so Abu Bakr is our first caliph. This is a picture of him. I don't know if that's what he actually looks like, but maybe. And he led a war to conquer the entire Arabian Peninsula. His goal was to convert all people to Islam. So there's this word jihad. Okay, jihad is a war, or a word that means a holy war fought for Islam's sake. Also, just so you guys know, many Muslims today do not believe in jihad as in fighting. So again, I don't want you to be scared, but they believe it's like what do you call it? Trying to be a better person, sort of mentality, not necessarily fighting with weapons. But at this time, jihad was considered go to war and make all people, be Muslims. So, within 2 years, he reached his goal and had the entire Arabian Peninsula. Umar is our next caliph, and he went even further. He fought and captured Persia, Syria, Egypt, and even attacked Byzantine. He didn't fully conquer Byzantine, but both Persia and Byzantine were very weak because they were fighting each other. So Islam and the Muslims are now spread, as you can see, over into the African continent as well. And a little side note, FYI, you don't have to write this down. This is just for your information. So there are 3 very important cities to Muslims. And so Jerusalem is like the 3rd most important, because Muhammad, that is where he said that he was taken by an angel. Medina, a city that Muhammad fled to when he was kicked out of Mecca. And then Mecca, which is the most sacred city. So the Dome of the Rock, this is just to give you a little kind of how Jews and Muslims both view Jerusalem. The Dome of the Rock is this guy, and it is whoa, that's cool. It is a shrine built in Jerusalem that Muslims believe this is where Muhammad ascended to heaven, like he was here, and then he went up to heaven, got a vision, came back down. And then Jews find this place significant because it is where they believe that Abraham prepared to sacrifice Isaac and was granted the lamb or whatnot so that he didn't have to sacrifice Isaac. Okay. And we are so close to being done. This is actually the last one. So now Islam is kind of taking over this whole area and Egypt and over here. And they want to get up here to Asia Minor, where Byzantine is. Okay. So the Byzantine Empire, right up in here, is struggling to maintain control because these guys want them. So we got this dude, Leo the Third. Leo the Third became ruler of the Byzantine Empire, and after about 6 months being emperor, the Muslim armies came and kind of just camped outside of Constantinople. So Constantinople's like right there, I think, right? Yeah, sure. And so they just kind of camped and were like, y'all can't get food. So they were planning to starve out the people of Constantinople so that they would surrender.